I've spent years in this chair listening to folks talk about their relationships, and let me tell you, some of these relationships are downright toxic. We're not just talking about disagreements or occasional arguments here. We're talking about a pattern of behavior that's emotionally damaging, manipulative, and sometimes even abusive. What a lot of people don't realize is that these toxic relationships can have serious, long-term consequences for your mental health. We're talking about anxiety, depression, and even PTSD. That's right, PTSD. You might think of PTSD as something that only soldiers experience after being in combat, but the truth is, any traumatic experience can lead to PTSD, including a toxic relationship. So in this video, we're going to dive deep into the dark side of toxic relationships and how they can impact your mental health. We'll talk about the signs of a toxic relationship, the long-term effects, and most importantly, what you can do to break free and start healing. Now, gaslighting. This is a classic tactic in toxic relationships, and it can be incredibly damaging. It's all about manipulation, plain and simple. You see, a gaslighter wants to control you by making you doubt your own sanity. They might deny things they said or did, even when you know they're lying. They might twist your words, making you feel like you're going crazy. They might even try to convince you that your memories are wrong and that you're imagining things. This constant questioning of your own reality can be incredibly disorienting and isolating. You start to second-guess yourself, your memories, even your own instincts. It's like walking on eggshells all the time, never knowing what's real anymore. And let me tell you, this kind of manipulation can really mess with your head. It can lead to anxiety, depression, and even full-blown PTSD. Think about it. If you're constantly being told that your perception of reality is wrong, that you can't trust your own thoughts or feelings, that's going to take a serious toll on your mental health. Gaslighting is a form of emotional abuse, and it's never okay. If you think you're being gaslighted in a relationship, it's crucial to reach out for help. Talk to a trusted friend, family member, therapist, or a hotline. Remember, you deserve to be in a relationship where you feel safe, respected, and valued for who you are, not manipulated and made to doubt your own sanity. Now let's talk about another hallmark of toxic relationships: constant criticism. This isn't about constructive feedback or healthy communication. This is about a relentless barrage of negativity aimed at chipping away at your self-esteem. It can be subtle, like backhanded compliments or snide remarks disguised as jokes. Or it can be blatant and cruel, like outright insults or put-downs. Either way, the message is clear: you're not good enough. Day after day, you're bombarded with messages that you're flawed, incompetent, or unworthy. You're constantly being told you're not doing things right, that you're not measuring up. This kind of toxic environment can be incredibly damaging to your sense of self. It's like a slow poison that eats away at your confidence and self-worth. You start to believe the negative things being said about you, and you begin to doubt your own abilities. You might find yourself withdrawing from social situations, afraid of making mistakes or being judged. You might start to avoid new challenges, convinced that you're bound to fail. Over time, this constant criticism can lead to feelings of worthlessness, inadequacy, and even self-hatred. And let's be clear, no one deserves to feel that way. If you're in a relationship where you're constantly being criticized and put down, it's time to take a step back and ask yourself, is this relationship serving me? Is this person truly invested in my well-being? Remember, you deserve to be with someone who lifts you up, encourages you, and celebrates your strengths, not someone who tears you down and makes you feel small. Now let's talk about isolation. This is a common tactic used by abusers and manipulators to gain and maintain control over their partners. It's about slowly and systematically cutting you off from your support system, leaving you feeling alone and dependent on them. It often starts subtly. They might make snide comments about your friends or family, planting seeds of doubt about their intentions. They might try to create drama or conflict, making you feel like it's easier to just avoid certain people altogether. As time goes on, the isolation tactics may become more overt. They might forbid you from seeing certain people, monitor your phone calls and emails, or even try to sabotage your relationships with loved ones. The goal is to make you dependent on them for your emotional needs. They want to be the only person you can turn to for support, validation, and companionship. This isolation can be incredibly damaging to your mental health. It leaves you feeling trapped, alone, and vulnerable. You might start to question your own judgment, wondering if your loved ones were right about your partner all along. This isolation can also make it much harder to leave the relationship. When you've been cut off from your support system, you might feel like you have nowhere to turn, no one to confide in. Remember, Healthy relationships are built on trust, respect, and open communication. If your partner is trying to isolate you from your loved ones, it's a major red flag. It's a sign that they're more interested in controlling you than in supporting your well-being. Now let's talk about belittling and humiliating behaviors. These are some of the most insidious and damaging tactics used in toxic relationships. It's about deliberately putting you down, making you feel small and insignificant. It can take many forms. They might make fun of your appearance, your intelligence, your accomplishments, or even your deepest fears and insecurities. They might tell you you're worthless, that no one else would ever want you. They might humiliate you in public, making cruel jokes at your expense or putting you down in front of others. They might even try to turn others against you, spreading rumors or gossiping behind your back. The goal is to erode your self-esteem, to make you feel so bad about yourself that you believe you don't deserve any better. They want you to feel broken and dependent on them, so you won't have the strength or the courage to leave. These tactics are often used to control and manipulate you. By making you feel small and insignificant, they hope to keep you under their thumb. They want you to believe that you're lucky to have them, even though they treat you terribly. This kind of emotional abuse can have devastating effects on your mental health. It can lead to feelings of shame, worthlessness, and self-loathing. It can also trigger anxiety, depression, and even PTSD. Remember, you deserve to be treated with respect and dignity. You deserve to be with someone who values you, supports you, and makes you feel good about yourself. If your partner is constantly belittling and humiliating you, it's a sign that the relationship is toxic and harmful to your well-being. Let's talk about the signs of PTSD from a toxic relationship. PTSD isn't just for soldiers. It can happen to anyone who's experienced trauma, including toxic relationships. Common symptoms include constant anxiety, feeling on edge, and trouble sleeping. Flashbacks are vivid, intrusive memories of the trauma. You might avoid reminders of the toxic relationship, withdraw from social situations, and struggle with self-doubt. Hyperarousal means you're always on high alert, feeling like you need to be prepared for danger. Difficulty with trust is common, making it hard to form new relationships. Now let's talk about the impact of PTSD from a toxic relationship on your overall mental health. Because here's the thing, folks. PTSD doesn't just affect you in the moment, it can have long-lasting consequences for your mental and emotional well-being. One of the most significant impacts is an increased risk of developing other mental health disorders. We're talking about anxiety disorders, depression, substance abuse disorders, and even eating disorders. It's like PTSD creates a breeding ground for other mental health challenges to take root. Another common issue is difficulty with relationships. PTSD can make it hard to trust others, set healthy boundaries, and communicate your needs effectively. You might find yourself pushing people away, sabotaging your relationships, or repeating the same unhealthy patterns in new relationships. PTSD can also lead to cognitive distortions. These are negative thought patterns that distort your perception of yourself, others, and the world around you. You might engage in all-or-nothing thinking, catastrophizing, or mind-reading, which can keep you stuck in a cycle of negativity and self-sabotage. It's important to remember that PTSD is a real and treatable condition. If you're struggling with the aftermath of a toxic relationship, please know that you're not alone and there is hope for healing. Seeking professional help is crucial. A therapist can help you process the trauma, develop coping mechanisms, and work through the emotional baggage that's holding you back. Remember, healing from PTSD takes time and effort, but it is possible. With the right support and resources, you can break free from the grip of the past and create a brighter future for yourself. Look, toxic relationships can leave you feeling broken and defeated, but I want you to know that healing is possible. It takes time, it takes work, but you can reclaim your life and your happiness. If you see yourself in any of the signs we talked about today, please reach out for help. Talk to a therapist, a trusted friend, a family member. There are resources available to support you on your journey to healing. Remember, you deserve to be in a relationship where you feel safe, respected, and loved. Don't settle for anything less. Thank you for watching Psych Circles. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more mental health content.